Hi, welcome to Crochet CJ episode 20. Carla here, midwife, mom, and I'm a born again Christian and I love people enough to tell them that. I hope you guys have had a good couple of weeks. I know I'm a little late getting a video out, but my immune system decided to take a little break and I had a little virus and it didn't last very long and there are no ill effects and I'm fine now. It's just that kind of rolled. Once that was gone, I kind of had a full week of work, and so I haven't had a lot of free time to do much of anything. And when I was off work, for example, yesterday when I came off my 24-hour shift, I was just really tired, I guess, from not feeling well, and my body needed a little time to recover. I went to bed at 8 o'clock last night and got up at 6:45 this morning. So I had a nice long sleep last night. I know you can't catch up sleep, but it does seem to help me to have that prolonged sleep like nobody slept in forever. Rip Van Winkle sleep. We'll call it that. For those of you who know who Rip Van Winkle is, I had Rip Van Winkle sleep last night, so it was awesome. And yes, I'm having coffee, and yes, I'm slurping it. Sorry, Haley. In my Maxine, it's my body, I'll have pie if I want to mug. Bought that years and years and years ago at Valentine's. I think it was a little set at Valentine's, and I just loved the mug so much I had to have it. And so that's kind of my go-to coffee mug, tea mug, whatever. Now to find somewhere to set it where I'm not going to spill it during this little filming. Okay. Here's hoping that little spot does not get it knocked over. Okay, sorry. We'll get this going so that we're not here all day. I know you guys have things to do, so do I. So, finished objects. I finished the Feel Better shawl from Kalisha from the Quirky Monday podcast. It's basically granny stitches. It's just, she has a pattern that she has you do it in. And so, it does come out looking almost like a triangle. Maybe I need to move you guys back just a little bit so that you can see this lovely shawl. I mean, not lovely because I made it, lovely because Kalisha did a beautiful job designing it. But yeah, this part's kind of curved almost, and then the rest of it's got straight edges, and then you just go around when you finish on the straight edge side and do your border. I used 2 cakes of yarn. I'm one of those people that likes to wear my shawls, this direction, because mainly I like them because don't I look like a granny in it? I like to have them on my arms because my arms get cold. But anyway, it's a lovely shawl. I really like it. It turned out really pretty. I used this Hobby Hurricane yarn, and it's the 11 colorway. This is what it looks like balled up. I used 2 of these cakes. Now I have a third one. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'll figure out something, right? I always do. Maybe that'll go in a giveaway. Ooh, okay. My other finished object is just this granny stitch baby blanket. There is no pattern. What I did was I started with 8 rows of granny stitches. Well, of course, okay, this is really soft yarn. Here, I'll move you guys back. Sorry, I hope I'm not making anybody sick moving that around. This is really soft yarn, and it's not got a lot of body to it. I don't know how else you'd want to say it. So what I did was I just basically did 30 inches of chain, and then did a couple of more, and then turned around and I did single crochet all the way back across to give myself a good foundation chain. I know you can do those foundation chains where you do that all at once, but I didn't think about that, and I'd already done the chain and ripped it out a couple of times before I figured out I was not going to be able just to immediately go into it with grannies, because it was not going to end up being straight. But now it's nice and straight, right? So I did 8 rows of granny stitch with this green, and then I did alternated 2 white and 2 green all the way up, and then on the other end I did another 8 rows of green. And yes, my little end is sticking out there. I need to fix that. So I just carried the yarn all the way up the side, and then when I got to the other end, I just did a row of single crochet with the green all the way around the blanket to cover up that edge, because that way I didn't have to. Stitching in ends, weaving in ends is not the worst thing in the world that you have to do. But if you don't have to weave in that many ends, hey, how good is that? So see, all I had left was one little end, which is already woven in because I kind of stitched it in with my single crochets. And then, of course, my ending tail, I got to weave that in. The beginning tail, again, I stitched that in with my single crochets and then just kind of woven in a little bit, and I need to cut that off, but I'm done with that. The yarn I used is Premier Parfait, which this is actually part of my acquisitions the last couple of weeks, because this is that Premier order I was telling you I made. I used white and I used, the green is called Melon, which I used the entire thing of green. I don't know how I did it. That little tail was all I had left. At some point I just went, okay, I think it's time to make my 8 rows at the end. I didn't really even measure it, or just, you know, I just kind of did it. It was one of those things that just worked out really well. And I do have, you know, a nice amount of white, maybe a third of the skein of white, and that's okay because I have more of that yarn in pink. So this is a number 5 bulky. It's, like I said, it's Premier Parfait. We'll just kind of roll right into, well, no, I don't want to do that because I want to do my Joys in Progress. I'll tell you about that yarn when I do my acquisition. So Joys in Progress, I'm doing a test pattern for a friend, and I'm using this hobby twister yarn. This is called Chocolate Cream Pie. And doesn't it look like, I'm trying to not destroy the integrity of the project I'm working on. So Chocolate Cream Pie, okay. Another acquisition, okay, because I did have a hobby order come. So I ordered the hobby and the Premier on the same day. The hobby came in the mail, and then the Premier came the next day. So from Denmark, the yarn got here faster than it did from Premier, which I'm assuming is in the US. I could be wrong. Anyway, Chocolate Cream Pie, and again, I'll talk about the contents of that because I have more, I have another colorway in that. So when I do acquisitions, I'll talk about that. The test pattern is for my sweet friend Gypsy Rose. And so I can't go into more details. I'm just telling you it's a test pattern for her. And I got contacted by another awesome artist who writes patterns, and they're always wonderful, and I have many of her patterns too, about doing a test for her, and I'm so excited. I know, I'm trying not to overload myself, but I just can't resist doing tests because they're so fun. It's so fun to test out something new and challenge yourself, right? We like to be challenged, right? My other Joy in Progress is my Low-Cal project, which is my Native American blanket. When I got my Premier order, I have the rest of the yarn to work on that. I don't think I'm going to get it done by April 1st because it's a pretty good sized blanket. I'm going to do, you know, I want to get these 2 test patterns done, and then I'm going to work on that in between and kind of work on it as much as I can. If I don't get it done, I don't get it done. It's okay. You know, I like entering cals and stuff, and I like entering giveaways and things like that, But I have come to the realization that number one, I'm not very lucky in those things, and that's cool. I'm good with that. Number two, I have a lot of yarn. I know I haven't done the show your stash video or whatever. If I can ever come in here, tear myself away from crocheting long enough to come in here and organize my stash a little better, where I can show it. Right now it's not that it's, I mean, it is kind of everywhere, but I just don't have the storage containers I need to organize it well, and it would be impossible, I think, to show it to you at this point. So I've just been showing it to you little bits at a time. Anyway, I'll try to do that at some point. Things are kind of crazy at work. You know, we've had some people leave, and so I'm not necessarily doing overtime. It just seems like I'm doing more than normal, and sometimes it's overflowing the paperwork, not patient paperwork, but like paperwork, you know, working on schedules and things like that I do. It seemed to flow into my time off, which won't be for long. We actually had somebody who stepped into the empty position, and so we're not having to work a bunch of overtime or anything, which is great. And so that's good. Even though I love my job, I do enjoy being off work too, so that I can do the things that I enjoy doing, like crocheting. Imagine that. And I gotta make some quilts. I got some quilts I need to work on. Okay, that was a really big rabbit trail I just chased. Apologies, y'all. We'll move on. Acquisitions. Okay, so I did get an order from Premier, and excuse the crinkle. This is the other color I got in the parfait. It is called pink, which it's pink, and this is really soft. I mean, it's like the Bernat blanket, but it's not as, it's a little thinner. It's not as bulky as the blanket yarn from Bernat, and I mean, I like it, and it's really, really soft. But like I said, you kind of have to make yourself a good foundation chain, or else your initial row one looks kind of whatever. And I just got it because I thought, ooh, I want to try that, and I bet it's nice and soft. And it is, like, I can't believe how soft that blanket is. The little baby that's getting it is just adorable. I had already made blankets. I showed you those before for the baby, to give to the parents, you know, for the baby. And then this one is for grandma and grandpa, so that when baby comes to visit them, she has a special blanket from Carla, because I love my babies. Anyway, this Premier Parfait is a bulky 5. It says, okay, I would agree with that. It's not a 4 and it's not a 6, so I guess I'm 5. The recommended hook size is a K or 10.5, and then the recommended needle size is a US 9, 5.5 millimeter. It has 421 yards and 7.6 ounces or 220 grams. It is 100% polyester, and like I said, it's so soft. Anyway, I got 2 of the pink, 1 of the melon, which is the green, in the blanket, and then 1 of the white. I had originally ordered the creme de menthe, which is their light blue, their baby blue, but they emailed me and said, we're out of that. That's out of stock. We can either refund that or we can send you a different color. So I just requested that they send me the melon, just because that one's a good one for either gender, right? So that works out well. And then for my locale project, I had ordered this to be the dark turquoise, because the other one I have is light turquoise, right? And this color is peacock. Sorry, it's hard to read that teeny tiny writing. So I had gotten 3 of the peacock, and then I had gotten 5 of the, this one is Coral, which is the other color I needed for my, it's looking kind of pink on there. It really is like a peachy coral. It's really pretty. So I'd gotten 5 of those, and then 3 of the peacock, and I already have the regular turquoise. I realize it's a different brand. It's Lion Brand yarn, but this is all worsted weight, and I think it will work well together. This is their D'Urban Orville Everyday Anti-Pilling. It's 203 yards in 4 ounces or 113 grams. It's a number 4 worsted weight. Recommended hook size is an I. I think that's what I'm using for that. And it is 100% acrylic, anti-pilling acrylic. So I got those. So I ordered a couple of their mystery bags, and I'll have to say I am a little disappointed, but simply because I thought I was going to get some of the Lady Mary sparkly yarn, and I didn't. What I got was, I guess this was the worsted weight when I ordered. They sent me some 100% cotton, and it's really pretty, but I don't make a lot of stuff with cotton. I mean, I make a washcloth once in a while, and I made a lot of face cloths last year for Christmas and things like that, but I don't make a lot of stuff with 100% cotton. So yeah, you guys might see that in a giveaway. The color is Rainbow Sherbet. It is 100% cotton. It's called their Cotton Supreme Batik from Universal Yarns. There are 180 yards in 3.5 ounces or 100 grams. And it is really pretty. And I mean, hey, Rainbow Sherbet. Who doesn't like Rainbow Sherbet, right? And then the other one I got in that bag, I got 6 skeins of yarn. I got 3 of that one and 3 of this one. This is the Uptown Worsted. It's called Batter Up. And it is... Oh, come on. Where's the... I guess I should have written all this stuff down, and I didn't. It is anti-pilling. It's Uptown Worsted Spirit Stripes from Universal Yarn. It's 100% acrylic. There are 180 yards in 3.5 ounces or 100 grams. And it's like a really dark green. It's like, I mean, this is like forest green. Oh, you can see it on the camera actually. In person, when you first pick it up, you're like, oh, that's black and white. No, it's green. And I mean, it's really pretty. And it's, now, I mean, to me, to call that like a number 4 worsted weight, I don't know. That's kind of thin to me. That looks more like a DK weight. The other pack I ordered, I think actually was the DK. Okay, one of these is supposed to be worsted. One of these is supposed to be DK. In the other pack, I got Premier Fable yarn. There are 250 yards in 3 ounces or 85 grams. This is a number 3. Recommended hook size is really tiny. I'm telling you guys. I have bifocals, and I think it says G. This color is Cinderella. Isn't that pretty? It's little grays and pinks. That'll make, you know, a pretty little baby blanket or something, or a little baby sweater or something like that. Did I tell you the contents of it? It's, oh, come on. 50%, no, 80% polyester, 20% anti-pilling acrylic. So it's acrylic polyester. Anyway, and that's fine. I just really wanted some sparkly yarn in this package. I was in a sparkly mood, I guess. Then I got the Premier Everyday Baby, D'Urban Orville Everyday Baby, and it is also anti-pilling. This one is 308 yards in 4 ounces or 113 grams. It's a number 3, and it recommends a G, which is much bigger on this one. I guess I should have looked on this one instead of the other one, because it's big enough to read on this one. And this is 100% anti-pilling acrylic, and this color is All right, where's the color? It doesn't tell the color. Oh, yeah, it does. Oh, that's really tiny. Green. Well, how creative. It's not really as neon-y as it's picking up on the camera. I mean, it's a pretty green, but to me it's like a mint green, almost like that melon that I have in that other one. So that's what I got from Premier. Sorry, I know, rustly. I got another order from Hobby that I really pretty. I showed you the one, that's the chocolate cream pie. The other twister yarn that I got is the honeybee. I don't know why I ordered these. These are really thin yarns. I mean, like crochet thread thin. The only thing I can think is I saw this one on Crystal at Bag O' Day. Hi, Crystal, if you're watching. I saw her with these, and I really like this colorway. And so, of course, I couldn't just order one colorway. I got 2 cakes of this and 2 cakes of the chocolate cream pie. Again, this one is honeybee. Twister is 50% cotton, 50% acrylic. It's 1,000 meters and 250 grams. And it recommends a 3.5 to 4 millimeter hook. Again, designed in Scandinavia, made with love in Turkey. And I mean, I like the yarn. It's really pretty. I'm using the other for that test pattern for my friend, but I'm actually doubling it because it's so thin. I actually am just holding both strands together. You know, I just pulled the center out of both cakes and I'm holding it together, so that works. The other I got is this cookie yarn, which I decided to pull out the center of this one because I wanted to see what it really looked like, because I can't remember why I would order these colors. They're pretty. They look kind of red, white, and bluish to me. This color is Country, number 46213. This is their cookie yarn. Cookie yarn is, let's see. Oh, come on, 100% acrylic. This says it's a number 5. This is more like a number 4 to me. You know, it's more like a red heart or something like that. Recommended hook size is, well, this says 4.5 to 5. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you there. That's all I can tell you about that one. Anyway, I got 2 of those. There's 1,000 meters. That's a lot. And I can make something really pretty out of that. The other one, I know exactly why I ordered it, because I like bright colors, I really do, but I also like fall colors. And I mean, this kind of has the best of both worlds. Look, it's got the pinks and the greens and the purples and but I mean, maybe it's the light in this room. I mean, it's showing up really bright for you guys, but when I look at it, I see fall. I mean, I don't see pink. See, that's showing up pink, and there's no pink in this. I'm just telling you, this is like browns and oranges and greens. This color is called Northern Lights, number 46212. I don't know what to tell you. They can say it's Northern Lights all they want, but to me that is fall leaves. I don't know why the color's showing up so funky on the camera, but it is. Anyway, really pretty. Again, I can make something really gorgeous out of that. So my last acquisition is got my knit crate. I'm sorry if I don't show any enthusiasm for knit crate. And yeah, it's the same one that everybody else got. And it's the Knitology Sheen in the colorway Titmouse. 75% merino wool, 15% silk, 10% cashmere. It's fingering weight, 400 yards. You only got one because it's 400 yards. I don't know what I'll do with it. Maybe I'll finally make a pair of socks. And yes, you got this cute little bag. and you got the pattern book, and I know you guys have seen the pattern book 100 times. And I will freely say that that was my last knit crate, okay? I did drop my bag in the floor. I did cancel my knit crate after this one. There's nothing wrong with their yarn. I didn't send my January and February knit crates to Sharon because there's anything wrong with their yarn. There's nothing wrong with their yarn. It's beautiful quality yarn. I have made some lovely things, but in 4 months, well, this is month number 5, in 4 months I got 2 browns and I got 2 greens. And I like brown and I like green, but I'm kind of bored. And if I'm gonna spend that kind of money, and I know it's a good buy because it's, you know, you get 2 skeins of hand dyed or whatever that's usually like $25 a piece, and you get both of them for $24.99 or whatever. I know it's a, you know, but if I'm gonna spend, I mean, I don't normally spend $10 on a skein of yarn. I'm like Crystal. I like to find them when they're on sale. So if I'm gonna spend that kind of money, I'm going to buy the colors I want to make the projects I want. I guess maybe I'm not a really good surprise. As you know, I wasn't real thrilled with my mystery boxes from Premier. I guess I'm just not. It's not that I don't like surprises, but I guess when it comes to yarn, I want to know what I'm getting and when I'm getting it. So I guess I just need to be like Crystal and go to the store and squish it. Squish, squish. Anyway, I want to kind of talk about some things. Again, I don't, you know, my focus is joy. And when I do these videos, my focus is joy. And it's not that I don't want to share my life with other people or whatever. In some aspects, I am kind of private about some things, but it's difficult for me to come on and just talk about all the things that are going wrong, because I think there's too much focus on that in everyday life. So if you want to say I'm living in a bubble, or you want to say that I am wearing rose-colored glasses, you can say that. They're not rose-colored, they're purple, thank you. You know, that's fine. I don't live in a fantasy land. I live in the real world. But, you know, crochet and my yarny family, I mean, it's therapy. It, you know, faith in God and the belief that there's a greater good intended for all of this sorrow that we go through. And the fact that I can connect with other people who enjoy things that I do and who feel the same way I do about being kind and loving other people, you know, that makes my life infinitely more joyful. Okay, so we'll just say that. You know, my church family, my family, you know, my blood family, I love them too. It's not that I don't love them. My yarny family, I spend more time with just because we do it online. So there you go. But, you know, again, I don't want anybody to think that I have this perfect life and, you know, that, or that I'm putting on an act. I'm not putting on an act. I just like to talk about joyful stuff. Now, I'll be honest with you. Mary, you know, my friend in Ireland, Mary's Crochet Chit Chat, check her out if you haven't already. She knows the things that go on in my life. Mary and I connected so well. I mean, I make friends easily because I love people and I love talking to other people, as you can tell, because I talk to you guys so much. But Mary and I we connected really easily, and so she knows a lot of the things that go on that aren't so wonderful and special, but I just have chosen not to share those on the air. And it's not because I don't love y'all too. It's just because I don't want to bring you down. And for the most part, I have a beautiful, wonderful life. But, you know, everybody has things that they go through. Did you know that nurses, and being a nurse midwife, and I was a registered, I am an advanced practice registered nurse, and I was a registered nurse for 18 years before I became a midwife. Nurses are 50% more likely to suffer from depression than people in other professions. So you know, just think about that. And I think it's because they do a lot of caring for other people who are having a tough time. Anyway, you know, I know I'm always referring to joy and love, and I am sincere. And again, crochet is such great therapy, and the crochet community is so supportive and loving, and it's so wonderful. And I want to thank you guys for your love and support and your wonderful comments and, you know, just everything. The Zoom meetings are so fun. You get to be yourself and just talk to people who have similar interests, and you go crochet while you're doing it, and people aren't offended that you're crocheting while you're visiting with them. My husband never lets me take my crochet into houses when we go visit people. Not that we go visit very often, but you know, anyway. The cards and the stitch markers I've sent out, I love sending yarny goodness and love to other people, and so I enjoy making up those cards, and I enjoy making the stitch markers, and you know, it gives me joy to send those things to other people. It's not just because I don't want people to be, oh, Carla's so sweet and so kind and so wonderful. That's nice when people say that. When people thank me, I'm glad that people appreciate it, and it makes me understand that they are every bit as yarn worthy as I knew them to be when I sent them the items. But I do that because it gives me joy too. I mean, it does make me feel like I'm contributing to somebody's having a better day. And I think that that's important, that as Christians and human beings, we should contribute to other people's happiness. And, you know, I think that that brings us happiness too. And then it just kind of snowballs and grows from there, you know. Another thing I want to discuss is pronunciations, accents, local dialects. Why do we pick on people for that? If Crystal wants to say skein of yarn instead of skein, why do you care? Why do people have to be nasty about that? I say skein. That's how I heard the term all my life growing up. My sister was a crocheter, and you know, and I've been around crafty people and crafts pretty much all my life. Skein of yarn. Yes, and if somebody wants to get on to me for saying skein, I'm going to say, how do you pronounce V-E-I-N? Vein, okay? You don't say veen. But I'm not saying that skein is the incorrect pronunciation. That is the pronunciation that is in a different part of the country or a different part of the world. That's how they say it. It's like people from across the pond say wool instead of yarn. Even if it's not made of wool, they call it wool, because that's their local thing. That's their thing. You know, the grammar police and the pronunciation police, you guys need to take a vacation, okay? Because not everybody is going to pronounce things the way you do. And not everybody, I mean, and I know people who pronounce words and they use letters in those pronunciations that are not in the word. Big deal. You know, if they want to say something, you know, and it's not correct, that doesn't matter to me, you know. As long as it doesn't bother them, it doesn't bother me. I mean, I don't want anybody to be embarrassed or feel bad because they pronounced something differently or pronounced it, even if they did pronounce it incorrectly. I mean, I don't get out the dictionary and look up those little accent marks. Anyway, I just don't think it's that important that we criticize people about silly things. So there's my stance on that. Shout out to Beth at Heaven's Peacemaker. Awesome podcast. You guys need to check her out. You know, if you didn't get a St. Patrick's Day card and stitch markers from me, it's not because I don't love you. It's because either A, I don't have your address, or B, well, I ran out. I printed up 30 cards and I sent them all out. I don't even have one to show you. You'll just have to watch other people's channels, and if they show them, then you get to see them. Anyway, I am happy to send people stitch markers. You may not get to pick and choose what you want unless you want to order them and pay for them. But I'd be happy to send you a stitch marker. If you email your address, I will pop a couple of those in the mail to you without any hesitation. Now, in saying that, I don't mean that I'm going to be able to run out right away and mail it. It may be a couple of days, but it depends. I usually wait till my day off to mail things. You guys, this has gone on longer than I normally do. I usually like to keep it under 20 minutes, and I'm at 35 now. So just remember, Jesus loves you, and so do I. And be good to one another. And you guys take care. Bye.